everybody, what's going on? Christian Hanahar here today. I'm excited to talk today about Scream Factory's new release of Alligator, and I will be pronouncing it Alligator for the rest of this video. But in all seriousness, this is pretty fresh from Scream Factory. They had this come out. We'll be talking about Alligator 2, The Mutation, soon. A television classic for me. Alligator, man. I mean, this is one of those monster features, those creature features that has this great legacy. And it just kind of got swept under the rug for years. Where were the nice releases of Alligator, you know? I saw this movie on TV when I was a little kid, and I just remember it scaring the crap out of me. Alligator terrified me to no end, and I always wondered, it'd been years and years since I'd seen Alligator. Was this movie just scary in my head? Was it a cheap, bad movie? I couldn't really remember. I didn't want to watch trailers again on the special effects on YouTube or anything, because I was like, that childhood memory, I think, is going to serve me right, because it mortified me as a kid. And I'm happy to say that I really enjoyed watching Alligator again for the first time in God knows how long. This was like creature features, especially real life style creature features like an alligator or Jaws. My parents were always cool with, when I was really young, letting me watch movies like this because they're monsters that exist in real life, and for the most part, you can avoid alligators. Maybe not when I was living in St. Bernard Parish in South Louisiana, which is below New Orleans, which was marshy swampland. They would pop up, and we would see them in the back of subdivisions and stuff, and that's real life. But for the most part, you could kind of steer clear of these kinds of monsters. But man, Alligator, the beauty of Alligator. So the quickest synopsis of Alligator, the movie, is in the beginning, you hear that legend, that story you hear, don't flush your alligators down the toilet because they'll go into the sewers and become monstrous. The story's really simple for Alligator, and that's the beauty, is they don't convolute it too much at all. The focus stays on the alligator. You've got the main cop in the movie, whose main deal is we've got to figure out what the hell is going on. And then when they realize it's a gator, they don't believe it's going to be as big as it is, and bada boom. The beauty is that this movie shows you the gator throughout the film in nice intervals, but every time you settle in on a shot of the gator and what he's doing, the second you really get to appreciate what you're seeing, boom, it'll be gone. And then the next sequence will be a little bit longer and maybe a little bit brighter. But wow, the effects of Alligator were amazing. I mean, the practicalness of the gator looked so good. I was shocked at how good it looked. It was remarkable. I mean, we watch movies with the CGI and it's just so bad. The only thing I can think of is just like, it must be cheaper to do CGI now, because this movie, like, the effects in it look better than half of the CGI crap I see today. What is going on with Hollywood? The CGI stuff has to end. I mean, the alligator looked amazing in here. I mean, shockingly good, especially since it's from 1980. I don't know. This is the Jaws of the alligator films, I'll tell you that, man. Big fan of this movie. So, obviously, there's really not much to spoil, but Alligator, it's about a massive giant alligator, and the practical effects are just bar none. So, I love this movie. I would give the movie itself, as a creature feature, a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's really good. And the only reason I don't give it a 10, honestly, is because I look at the creature feature monster movies as like Jaws, which is a perfect 10, and nothing is Jaws. But Alligator's really, really good for what it is. So, definitely a good movie. If that's good enough for you, go ahead and grab this release. In terms of this release, though, a little bit of a bummer for me. This was not the best looking 4K I've seen from Scream Factory. For me, the only way I can describe it is when you watch a really, really good 4K, there's almost that threshold of almost that 3D look that you'll see. I saw it in films like Halloween 5 and 4. They looked so good. The Shining is an example of probably one of the best looking 4Ks I've ever seen. There's this threshold of when the transfer and everything is so pristine and beautifully and great and just amazing that you can almost get this 3D effect. We don't really get that with Alligator. Granted, it looked good, but I'll be honest with you, if you wouldn't have told me this was a 4K and you just said, close your eyes, I'm going to put this in, tell me what you think it is, the release, the scan, or everything, I probably would have been like, I don't know, this looks like it could be a 2K Blu-ray scan. That's about as good as it looked for me. My television is calibrated. I've got everything set up now, in case anybody's wondering. It didn't look bad, don't get me wrong. It's just Scream Factory has done some such amazing 4K scans that Alligator, let me down a little. But that's not to say that it doesn't look good, so I don't want it to get twisted. It looks good, it's clean, it's beautiful, but it didn't cross that threshold of the 4Ks that I've seen from Scream Factory. But interestingly enough, though, this is for 4K scan from the original negative, so, you know, what can you do? It looks great, don't get me wrong, but in terms of 4Ks, this isn't the best looking one that I've seen them do. So I just wanted to express that honestly. But this is a great release. Okay, so I watched the 4K theatrical cut of Alligator, and you also get a Blu-ray of the theatrical cut and the television cut. And I don't remember, when I popped this in to like just kind of glance over some of the added scenes, they were taken from an inner positive is what it says here. You could kind of notice, but it wasn't too jarring, so that's okay, you know. And I'm glad that they gave you the television cut in here. I can't really tell you that's the cut to watch, because granted, that's the cut I probably saw as a kid, but for this review, I went ahead and I revisited the theatrical version. That's kind of the way I like to dip my toes into films, and quite frankly, a lot of times I prefer the theatrical version. But the Blu-ray doesn't even look too far off from the 4K, if you ask me, when I popped that in to check it. And in terms of special features, field commentary with director Lewis Teague and actor Robert Foster. You get a new interview with actress Robin Riker, new interview with Lewis Teague, new interview with special effects artist Robert Short, audio commentary with Lewis Teague and Robert Forster, interview with screenwriter John Sayles, teaser trailer, theatrical trailer, TV spots, trailers from hell, filmmaker Karen Kasuma on Alligator. And on disc 3, it's the 4K scan from the original camera negative with additional footage scanned from an interpositive. So as you can see here, this is the original artwork that you could flip to. This is the newly commissioned artwork on the slipcase. And yeah, again, you get the 3 discs. So you get a 4K of the theatrical cut, you get a Blu-ray 4K scan of the theatrical cut, and then you get the television cut. So overall, I would say this is still a good buy, because this is one of those movies that's been wanted on physical media for quite some time. And even though this isn't the most impressive 4K that we've gotten from Scream Factory, I'm still extremely happy with this. And the picture quality is more than good. It just doesn't cross that threshold that I think you'll notice when you see it. But other than that, I want to say it was a pleasure to revisit Alligator for the first time in years, quite frankly. I just thought this is a great creature feature, and the effects hold up so well. It's kind of like head-scratching why movies today really don't even match this. Practical is just the way to go. That's a big-ass alligator, I'll tell you that, guys. So there you have it. That's Alligator, the new Scream Factory release. I highly recommend picking this up. I know that people are seeing it at Best Buy if you want to grab it there. If not, I'll have an Amazon affiliate link down below, which you can use. Doesn't cost you a penny extra. It just gives me a little bit of the profit from that sale. My name is Christian Hanna Horror, guys. We'll see you soon. I don't know what the next video will be, but I'm a big fan of Alligator 2, The Mutation. Silly fun. Don't sleep on that one. Go ahead and pick that one up now, but we'll talk about that at a later date. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.